Are you a bit like me and you're into synths and you're into studios, music production gear, and you actually like to see that in a video? Well, maybe this 4th episode of my perfect home studio ? Series is for you, because in today's video we're going to take a look at some updates to my now pretty large home studio, so stick around. So what have I updated? Well, the first thing I've updated is the listening environment. I've added a pair of Saor isoplanes. Saor is actually the manufacturer of the table that I'm using. I bought it a couple of years ago, and they also make these isoplanes that you can position your speakers on, and that basically reduce sound traveling down from the speakers into the table, and I think it's called resonates. Of course, when audio is energy, sound waves are energy, and they will travel down to your whatever surface you have the speakers on, and of course that can change up the sound. So that's one way to create a little bit of a better listening environment. So this here is the base plate, and I also have a box here. So what you have here is an aluminum frame with rubber here where the speaker will rest, and on the other side you have the holes where you will insert these aluminum cylinders. So the 4 cylinders are all the same height, but you can adjust the height on 2 of them. So you either place them in the back here, or, well, depending on what way you have it turned, back and or front, in order to either have the speaker angled downwards or upwards. So it's all depending on your listening environment. The way I'm situated is I'll have the speaker slightly tilted down. So basically I will use these 2 here in order to tilt the speaker a little bit downwards so that the sound hits my ears at a more straight angle, rather than having it like kind of, blow past my ears or above my head. So next up, let's assemble everything. So what you do is that you have these cylinders and you decide, what's front and what's back. Of course, you might want a logo in the front, but to all intents and purposes, these are all the same. And this construction here is quite important. As you might see, they are not circular. So the way that this is designed, and it's pretty smart, is that of course you want as little of the aluminium to touch the rubber as possible. So this creates a gap on both sides. So it's basically held in place on the sides here. And this is well thought out, because if you touch inside, you'll feel that there is a kind of sawtooth shape inside. So there's even less connection between the rubber and the actual cylinder. So now I'll just place these 2 in the back here, push them down, and now I'm adding the top frame as well, and it has the same sort of rubber fittings as the base plate with the sawtooth feel inside. And now we have a bit of an angled shape to it. So as you can see, there's a bit of tilt here. So there we have it, the Saor isoplanes, and now I'm going to install them upstairs to the studio. So let's get to it. Morning, night, sun and stars, discrepancy. So looking at the main desk, what is actually new? Well, on the bottom shelf you can see I have my little Electron set up. We have the analog rhythm, the digitact, and the octatrack, and they are all hooked up beneath the table. And here's where a snake would come in really handy, because it's kind of a cable mess down there. And on the main surface we have the Analog 4 Mark II. It's not really hooked in at the moment, so I just placed it there because I think we'll make a good spot for it. I got the Machine Mark III, which is kind of my main, daily driver? Nah, that's more like for cameras, but yeah, it's like my main controller for the Machine software, and I use it inside of Cubase as well. I got the chord bot that I'm testing out at the moment for a review for Isla Instruments. I think it's Isla Instruments, but I really want to say Isla. And we have the trusted bass station too. And I know I really need to make a first impressions video on that one. It's a super nice synthesizer. It's actually featured on my top 3 best synthesizers or favorite synthesizer list that I have, and that was even before I bought it, because I tried it out so much and I thought it was really good value for the money. And now that I've had it for a while, I can tell you it's a great synthesizer. And standing over there looking a little bit lonely it's the Arturia drum brute, and it's actually a drum machine I use quite a lot, even though I have the analog rhythm. And on the last video I did get a fair amount of comments saying like, nice studio, but where's the music? And that's such a tired old meme. My channel's full of my music. But to please you guys, I will play you a song that I just finished up, and the drums are all and pretty much unprocessed from the drum brute, and I think they fit really nicely. It's sort of a 70s style song, so I'll play you that now. And somebody might remember that the drum brute was actually situated over on that rack shelf over there earlier. That's actually the power cord for it. But now it's on this little quick lock, I think, stand that I can move about. And the reason for that is because, well, firstly, the quick lock stand is really nice. I had it for my Machinist Studio. But since the Machina Mark III was actually too small to fit on this stand here, I felt like, yeah, it's a good choice for the drum brute, since I can move the drum brute about. Now, of course, I'm not taking advantage of using the individual outputs at the moment. Previously, I had them hooked up to my mixer. This is the Soundcraft EPM 12 mixer, and it's one I've had for a little while. I think it works nicely. It's kind of budget, but yeah, I've just used it as a kind of a sub mixer because I have a pretty large audio interface. And I use this mixer exclusively for routing the drum brute's individual outputs through the channels 1, 2, 5, and as you can see, that gives me panning options for the drum brute, which is really nice. And to give the synths on the main desk a little bit of a better angle, I'm using Crema Cafe stands that they sent me for review. And the stand here beneath the Machina is actually the Colibri stand, which is really nice. You can set it to different angles. It works pretty nicely for the Machina. The Machina is a little bit heavy, and if you play it, you'll move the stand about a little bit. But I think they have a bigger stand coming out as well that I hope to review. So I think that'll be a better fit for the Machina, but the Colibri works and it's very versatile. So this was the 4th episode of my home studio series. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the little thumbs up button so I know that you enjoyed this content. And if you have ideas for what you want me to showcase in upcoming episodes of this series, please just drop a comment down below and I'll read it, and I'll also try and answer as many questions as I can. And if you want to support the channel more, and maybe you want to communicate some more with me, you can become a patron. And if you're a patron, you also get access to the Patron forum over on simplysynth.com. So becoming a patron means that you donate a small amount every month to support the channel, and as a bonus, well, you get some different things, and you can go and check it out in the links below. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a very pleasant day. Thank you so much.